just had a feeling. I literally had a feeling one day in my kitchen in my house. I just had this sinking feeling. I was like, what if I was the owner, you know? And it stopped me in my tracks because it made me sick to my stomach.
In a good way? Or made you nervous?
It made me nervous because I knew that like owning the gym was a lot of work because I had been listening heavily to Best Hour of Their Day.
Welcome to the Best Hour of Their Day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
As both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
Remember when you were a hot mess?
I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So I've had many sales calls, and not for quite some time, but I vividly remember. So you're sitting there, Big Poppy pokes his head, right? Big Poppy, what's your husband's name?
Jake.
Jake.
He says hi, by the way.
Does he? Well, tell him I said hi. I like Big Poppy. I remember there's a dog crate behind you. Do you have a dog crate behind you?
Yeah.
And it's like Abbey Road behind you? Beatles?
It used to be, but yeah, it was then.
Why?
I took it down.
What was it? Were you a Beatles fan?
I am, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're Mexican, right?
I am
I didn't think Mexicans like the Beatles. Is that a stereotype? Was that offensive?
No, probably not. My mom grew up listening to the Beatles, so.
You went to visit your mom. Remember when we were in Virginia Beach? Weren't you going to surprise your mom?
Yeah.
What was that? Like, I want to say 80, but I don't think that's right.
Wait, what? What was the question?
You were going to surprise her for like some sort of major milestone.
It was my dad's birthday.
Okay.
But my grandma was there, and I hadn't seen her in years. I hadn't seen her since 1990. No, not 94, but it'd been a long time.
Were you born in Mexico?
I was born in Mexico.
So do you have dual citizenship?
I do.
Could you get dual, or did you have to take the U.S. citizen?
When I became a citizen, my dad became a citizen, and we were minors, my brother and I. And so at the time when he became a citizen, his kids became, like, we got citizenship. Yeah, so I didn't have to do, like, a test or anything.
Yeah, Roz, like, literally just the day I was leaving got the letter. I think she has to take a test now.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't.
I mean, you have to, like, I probably would fail.
I would definitely
They'd be like,
fail.
you have to leave the country. So Mexicans like the Beatles.
Yeah.
Like, were you growing up, like, did you listen to the Beatles a lot?
No, it wasn't growing up. It was when I was a teenager. I started listening to them. Yeah.
As a teenager?
Yeah.
I feel like you're a little younger than me. How old are you, Alie?
I'm 30. I'll be 39 in July.
Okay, yeah, so you're quite a bit younger. And you didn't start to enjoy. You know, I think every generation of teenagers feels like they're the first ones to find the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, right? It's like, you've never listened to Led Zeppelin. Like, we've all, like, my dad did. Like, so, anyway, I remember this.
Yeah.
And what was it? It was the album? Or like,
It was the album, the cover. Yeah,
How
Road.
come you took it down?
I'm just a little weirded out by a lot of the things that I'm finding out about the Beatles.
Oh, what?
So,
What are you?
just like that they were into, like, occult things and.
Yeah, that's why I like them, actually. That's why I like them.
That's not why I like
No,
them. But
the 60s, everyone was in a cult. They were doing drugs, LSD, they're in a cult.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, you're in a cult.
I'm in a CrossFit cult.
Yeah, I mean, CrossFit is a cult, right? Like, if
it is.
There was a documentary I watched one time, it was like, you wear the same clothes. I mean, we're literally wearing the same shoe, like Noble, right? Like, you had a leader, right? A charismatic leader. Glass, like, we're in a cult.
Yeah.
So, I remember, the point being, I was like, oh, this woman's a hot mess. Like, I remember, like, once in a while we'll get off a call, I'll have to call Fern, I'll be like, dude, you're not going to believe it. So
Everything was burning down. It was on fire.
And, and spoiler alert, we'll get to, but, like, you are the 2023 most valuable affiliate, right? I forget what award I gave you, but it was something along those lines.
Most improved.
But it's been like, you went from hot mess to, like, the devil wears noble. Like, you're like you're like an official businesswoman. I mean,
Yeah.
It's really been a fun journey to watch. But let's talk about it. You took over the box, CrossFit Lake Wylie.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people watch, and many people take over the box. There's a ton of advantages, and there's an incredible amount of disadvantages. And I try to walk people through. It's like, cool, like, take over, yes, we have X amount of members, but they also are used to things being done this way versus, hey, we have no members and you get to build whatever experience and, foundation that you want with them.
Yeah.
So you take over. What were some of the things that were, on fire? There was quite a few, but like.
Probably financially, it was not doing well. The culture.
Well, not probably. Right? It was
Yeah,
not doing.
it was not doing well. No.
You weren't, when you took over, you weren't paying yourself.
Not at all. I didn't.
You were still.
Yeah, I didn't pay myself for a couple months. And then when I did, it was very, very little just because my accountant was like, you have to pay yourself something. And I was like, okay, so I was just trying to pour everything back into the business and fixing things. So that was one thing. But the culture was not something that I liked. And that took a while to change.
So you were a member first?
Yeah, I was a member of that gym originally from day one when it opened. Yeah.
Wow. How did you find it?
It was closer to the gym that I was going to.
So you were at a different CrossFit?
Yeah.
So you left one affiliate. This is unusual. I think a lot of times many people started one between their house and the gym, a few others open, but they continue going. But you said, all right, this is just more convenient.
It was a lot closer. I think I was driving 16 miles to go to the other one.
Which can be like 20, 30 minutes at times, I'm sure.
Yeah, where I live, it's a little different. It's not in the city. So it was taking me 30, 35 minutes to get there.
Which is a long time. That adds an hour to your day.
Yeah, but you get hooked on CrossFit. So I'm like, I'm going every day. And then when CrossFit like Wylie opened, it was only 11 miles.
But that's 20 minutes.
Yeah. And from just where it's at, it only takes me, at the time, probably 10 minutes to get there. So I'm like, all right, I'll switch over to this gym. So from day one, I've been a member. We did Cindy. That was our first
on day one. Me too.
Cindy.
Still my go-to when I'm traveling. If there's a pull-up bar.
Yeah.
Or if I'm at home and I'm like, I don't want to do anything, I'll just start Cindy. So when you left one for the other, as the consumer, what were some of the things you noticed and liked and disliked?
Well, the new one was new. Like it was a really nice facility. And it was a lot closer, but everything in it was new, The old one, what I didn't like about it, there was a lot of gym drama, coaches sleeping with members,
Yeah.
It closed literally like a week after I left.
You were the glue holding it together?
No, but I had sensed something was off.
What was the straw that broke?
The owner and his wife would argue in the gym, like across
publicly.
Yes, yeah, and he spoke Spanish, and sometimes he would try to talk to me about his wife in Spanish, and I was like, "Yo, no."
Do you even speak Spanish? Or is that
yes,
it?
I was born in Mexico.
But so he knew it wasn't like he'd speak in Spanish. I'm like, dude, I don't understand what you're saying.
No, he knew, and I was like, I'm not here for that. So it was that kind of drama.
Were you with Big Papi at the time?
Yeah,
but he doesn't go to the box.
No, he doesn't.
What are we gonna do to get this guy into the?
I don't know. I think you're gonna have to call him personally.
I will get on another call. So there was. I think that is important to know. Like affiliate owners, as a whole, understand drama is not ideal, but often you're the drama. Like you're fighting with your wife in front of us. Like we can tell you're arguing even if it's in Spanish.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So but ultimately that wasn't why you left. But I'm sure, so if it was like a drama-free environment, maybe you would have been, the extra distance is not as big a deal, but there's many factors happening. And then all of a sudden, this more convenient gym opens. You're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So knowing that, and now, how long were you a member before taking over?
Gosh, I joined the gym as a member in 2014. They opened in January 2014. I took over in June of 2022 as the owner.
So you were there 8 years.
Yeah. I started coaching in 2015.
What was that like? What made you, or did they ask you?
They asked me. It's funny because I was just talking to Chuck, telling him the story.
Yeah, Chuck Carswell's here, yeah.
Yeah. They said, hey, you'd be a great coach.
You do. You have a very bubbly personality.
Maybe.
No. You are like, presence and attitude would be off the charts. Is off the charts.
I try. I don't have the most fun classes. I'm very I'm all about form, So I'm the coach that's going to tell you don't put more weight on that bar. It needs to look prettier.
Yeah, but but you do it in a way that makes me want to. Right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Like, we were just talking to Fern, and you're like, you're stern, or whatever word you use, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you could be stern and also make me want to do what you want to do because I feel good.
Yeah.
And I think I can see that in you.
It's usually because I'm like, I know you can do better.
See? Because you're like,
it needs to look better. And I'm like, it's not there. The standard is the standard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's not it, try again, So that's just my thing.
Do that, but better.
Do that, but better, yeah.
So they'd be like, we want you to coach?
Yeah, so they said, we want you to coach. And initially, I'll be honest, I was like, okay, I'll get a free membership.
What was your background before that?
I was working at Aetna Health Insurance for a long time, and I was an instructional designer. So that's what I did.
I don't know. We won't even get it. Sounds very boring. It's a desk job.
It was a desk job. I worked from home for 10 years.
Oof. So anyway, you were like, I'll keep this job, but I get a free membership now at the box.
Yeah. That was literally the only reason I was like, okay, I'll do it.
What was the story you told Chuck?
That was it. But then once I did it, I was like, oh, I really like it. Like, I really like coaching people. And then from there, it just evolved to, in 2018, I got my level 2.
That's fast. I mean, within 3 years.
Yeah. I didn't think I would ever pursue the level 3, but I did.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big, sometimes I've known you for 3-4 years now. It's like you forget something. Like I remember when you passed that, and I think one of the challenges in the space is someone like you is like, I do like this. And then it's like, there's not really room to grow.
Yeah.
Right. But I think part of it is your responsibility. Like you said, well, then I went to get my level 2. I think you got your level 3 once you owned the place.
I was studying for it at the same time when I took over the gym. That was really hard.
But still, you were in the process of, right? So part of it is you have to make your own opportunity. But you were still, when did you leave Aetna?
I put my notice on Friday the 13th, 2020, March.
So you had already committed.
So I quit my job so that I could focus on my nutrition coaching business. That was my goal. I just wanted to focus on that. Plus, I was getting depressed. I've been in the office for 10 years.
And you recommend everyone eats like empanadas and other Mexican type foods?
Yeah, totally.
Lots of burritos. Do Mexicans eat empanadas? My au pair, she's Argentinian. She eats a lot of empanadas.
There are things like empanadas, but I don't know that they're that popular. And burritos are not like that.
What's classic Mexican? Like tacos?
Yeah, tacos, rice and beans.
What if you go back home and Abuela is making some Mexican food? What are you hoping she makes?
Oh my gosh, sopes.
What's that?
It's like a thick tortilla, it's the same, tortilla material, masa, whatever you call it.
Wait, matzah? Did you just say?
It's called masa.
Oh, I thought you said matzah because I'm Jewish. I thought you said matzah. It is true. Like every ethnicity has their bread.
Yeah,
we have matzah, the worst. Like Jews have the worst of everything.
Yeah.
But you guys have matzah, this fancy. We have dry cracker. Anyway.
So anyway, you make it into it's almost like a thick little bowl. You pinch the ends and you deep fry it.
You deep fry? Like Jews don't deep fry. That's a big miss. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you put beans on it, and then everything that goes on a taco. Like meat, cheese, onions.
Next time we're in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm swinging by.
Yeah, I'll take you to La Poblanita. That's our favorite Mexican.
Oh no, I want you to.
I don't cook. No, I'm terrible. You don't want that.
That's because you moved to the States too early. You didn't grow up in the village, learning how to make masa.
No, I did not.
So we got derailed. You decided to take over. You quit the job. That's an ambitious move. And I think my favorite thing with our clients is watching them leave their job. We just actually this morning, one of our original clients, Luke, who's having his 4th and 5th kid, he texted us. Like he's giving twins, it looks like, based on he sent his picture. But he quit his job at like the steel mill, or you've been on enough calls to see the, Dr. Fuller leave his teaching job, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that was an ambitious move. You bet on yourself.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I think it was my turn kind of thing. So
What, with your husband, you mean?
yeah. So I had always had this. I worked for Aetna for 15 years, and so I always was that consistent paycheck, and I always made enough to cover all the bills and everything.
Sugar mama.
No, I mean, he was working too, but he was working jobs that he ended up either not liking or things like that. And so, but it allowed him the opportunity to quit his jobs, and then he started his own business.
What's his business?
He originally was a handyman, and he kind of built up a really strong network of people doing handyman work. He did everything. He's very handy. He can do anything.
I have a guy I think I have a guy that I need this.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So that's Jake. He can do anything, and I really appreciate that. And so he built a business, and he was doing really well, but then he wanted to focus on one thing.
Which was what?
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know what it was. So March 2020 really was a good month for us. Everyone's freaking out during that time.
Right,
I'm quitting my work from home job while everyone's it's a good time to go work from home. And
right. Everyone obviously needs healthcare at that point.
Yeah.
So that was a big gamble.
We lost our benefits, everything, because and he's self-employed, and so he, where everyone's stuck at home, he's bored or whatever. So he started to cut trees down in our backyard. And, he
just for fun,
he wanted to open up the backyard, which I'm always sad about him cutting trees down, but he's obsessed with cutting trees down. So
were there a lot of trees, or there's two, and he was?
We live in the woods. My house is surrounded by woods, and so he just cut a bunch of trees down, and he called me out, and he's like, "Hey, look, I cut all these trees down," and he's proud of it.
and I like those trees.
I'm like, what are you gonna do with all the stumps? That was my question. All I see is stumps now. There's 15 of them.
Right, and that's a business right there, getting rid of stumps.
And he's like, I hadn't even thought about that.
You're
yeah.
Maybe that should have been a thought in there.
Yeah. So, but that was my question, and I wasn't trying to be mean or anything.
No, but you're we got a bunch of freaking stumps now.
What are you going to do with all the? It was a genuine question. What are you going to do with the stumps? And I had no idea how you removed stumps.
Because there's roots and all.
Yeah, and he was like, well, what am I going to do? And he started looking into stump removal, how to get rid of them. And well, you use a stump grinder. That's one way to get rid of them. And so he bought a stump grinder. It was a small one. He got rid of the ones in the backyard, and now he owns Kimbrel stump grinding. So now that's all he does now.
And has that grown?
Yes, he has two. He went from a small machine to a bigger one to, I think, a bigger one. So, and now he's got two of those, and he's also got a mini skid steer. He does other work. I couldn't really.
Two entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's funny because it's a real niche, right?
Yes.
Because I would imagine cutting the tree down is actually the easy part.
His best friend has a tree business. It's
so it
really
feeds one another. Yeah.
relationship, right? His best friend cuts the trees.
Hey, we cut this tree down. You got this stump now. But I happen to know a guy.
Yes. Yeah. So it works out.
So both of you entrepreneurs. So you go, hey, I'm gonna do this nutrition thing, and then when did the opportunity to take over the box arise?
So I quit my job to focus on nutrition coaching, and at the time, I think the owner was like, "Oh, you're more available now." So I think I just started coaching more at the gym, and I feel like my role grew, and I was just doing a lot more at the gym. And then for a while, we were implementing things. So I was developing a new sales process and a new onboarding process.
For the owner.
For the owner, yeah. So I did a lot of that. Was helping the other coach learn the new process and just doing, a lot of that.
Were you getting paid?
I was getting paid.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Because a lot of coaches I'm doing more, and the owner doesn't.
Yeah,
either pay more, show appreciation.
He definitely he did pay me.
Okay.
Yeah, he did pay me, and it was nice, and I was good with it, And then I think things just started to change where the direction that I think he wanted to take the gym. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
Was like, as a matter of fact, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, I just had a feeling.
So that did not work out for the owner.
That did not work out, no. And I think I just had a feeling. I literally had a feeling one day in my kitchen in my house. I just had this sinking feeling. I was like, what if I was the owner, you know? And it stopped me in my tracks because it made me sick to my stomach.
In a good way? Or made you nervous?
It made me nervous because I knew that like owning the gym was a lot of work because I had been listening heavily to Best Hour of Their Day podcast.
Oh, were you at the time?
Again, yeah, just for whatever reason, because you popped up on my Instagram feed. I didn't even know who you were.
Me or the Best Hour one?
You did, with your little whiteboard.
And you subscribed or whatever you do on Instagram.
I followed. So I had been following you, and then I had been listening to the podcast because then I also wanted to get my level 3. Mm-hmm. So, but the podcast for maybe 6 months before that moment, I realized, well, it's heavily towards like gym ownership and coaching, but a lot towards gym ownership. But I still kept consuming it, not knowing that the opportunity was going to come.
So it was getting in your subconscious.
Yeah. So then I had that feeling in the kitchen that day. And then the very next day, the owner had a meeting with me and another coach. And he was like, yeah, I think I'm going to sell the gym.
Happenstance.
Yeah.
Like you didn't say anything.
No, nothing. No, I had.
So it's like a premonition or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like something happened.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
so.
And then when he told you that, well, were you immediately like, I'll buy it?
I don't know if it was immediate. I was just kind of like, who are you going to sell it to?
There's only a hand.
Like,
when an affiliate owner wants to sell.
And he was like, I haven't considered anybody, but whoever I sell it to, like, I'll make sure it's in good hands. And I was like, absolutely not.
Well, there's also a very small market. Like, affiliate owners are going to sell my gym. I'm like, you have 2 people.
Yeah.
Like a coach or maybe a member that's willing to take a risk like you were.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'll be honest, I don't think I really ever wanted to own a gym. Like, I'll be honest, that was not something that I thought I would ever do. But I felt an extreme sense of responsibility because I had convinced my friend to quit her full-time job to go coach full-time. And so she was coaching full-time. And I felt so responsible for her, like, job. Mm-hmm. And also, like, what if he sells it to somebody that doesn't like me and then they just get rid of me? That's my community.
No one doesn't like you.
A lot of people don't like me.
Stop. They just got. It's like you're like me. You're an acquired taste.
Yes, I'm
it's
very.
The short
I'm
thing.
very direct.
We're direct.
So
we have to overcompensate.
Maybe I don't know.
So okay, and then how long was the period between that and you purchasing?
It was about 3 months because I was in March, and then we started like negotiations and all that.
When did you and I speak?
Oh gosh, it was. It's
must
either
have been like
sometime
May,
in April.
yeah.
April. Okay, as I know that I made my first payment to affiliate you before I even signed the papers for the
Did
gym.
you?
It was in May. My first payment was in May of 2022, and I took over in June of.
You believed in us.
I did.
Why?
Because I needed help, and I knew that you guys, you already had all this great content out there. Like I knew that you knew what you were doing, and I knew that you only worked with CrossFit affiliates, and that you believed in CrossFit.
Now yoga as well.
I'm gonna have to cancel my affiliate fee membership.
We should do yoga, but you believed in it.
I did.
And
I did.
So you start working with us, and then what were a couple of the issues you're like, oh, I didn't know that would be a problem?
Gosh, it's been so long now. But I knew some of these things were problems. Like we had so many membership options,
I remember that.
Everybody was getting a discount, and like that person can only come twice a week. Like they get a membership, and
yeah,
so
you get a membership, and we'll make this one right.
Yeah, and so that that was one of the bigger issues.
Do you remember the average client value at that time?
I don't.
But what is it now? What's your 52-week unlimited?
52-week unlimited is 164 every 4 weeks.
It was not that.
It was not that. No, we didn't.
I want to say it was like in the 110s.
No.
Like on average.
I think it was 130, 139. No, we had at some point increased it to 150, I want to say. It was one, I think.
You and me, or when the...
No, the previous owner had at some point increased the rates to, because we used to have it 3 days a week and unlimited.
Right.
And it was...
And now do you have only unlimited?
No, you know what? I think it was 119 and 139.
Yeah, I remember it was like we made some major leaps.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly at this point, but I do.
You remember not getting paid though.
I sure do. I remember that.
And now you get paid.
Yes, thank God. Yeah.
Talk me through, because you went from that mess of a membership system to unlimited, 4-week billing,
Yeah.
rate increase, and agreements.
Yes.
How stressed out were you?
That was really, really stressed. I remember the day that I had to send the rate increase email, and because we did rate increase and switch to 4-week billing at the same time.
And agreements.
And agreements, yeah. And it was all at once. And I was so nervous that day, like, you know, like the sick to your stomach nervous, like you're on a roller coaster feeling. And I finally just hit send, and you know, every time you expect all these angry emails. And
How dare you?
Yeah. And some people did leave, but they were people that didn't fit the culture anyway. So
Well, especially with you taking over, and I also think when we talk about this, I'm like, tell me the people that are going to leave, and they're like, the 3 to 5 like that they name. I'm like, okay, they're going to leave.
yeah.
I was like, but they were going to leave if you moved the rowers across the room, right?
Yeah.
Like, or you did one little thing, and let's do some math. Like, those people leaving is far outweighed by the change in revenue you're about to experience. So a handful leave, and how long did it feel for you to feel a sense of relief, like we're through it?
It really wasn't long after I sent the email, because I got some really cool responses back from some members, and I just really appreciate them.
Like what?
I want to cry, because
Let's cry on camera.
because some of them were like, "It's about time," you know.
Yeah, you are gonna cry, huh?
Yeah.
Nate, you getting this? Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in on Alie. People only cry when Fern's not around. This is great. Look at what we bring out when Fern's not here. It's all the emotion.
You better have a tissue for
Nate, how dare you? Nate, get some tissues, Cody.
But
He ignored us.
the members that were appreciative, because a lot of times you just hear so much negative and complaints all the time. So the ones that were, hey, it's about time, and we really appreciate what you're doing, it made me feel better. And nobody sent a hateful email, so that was nice. But the ones that sent the kind email, like, that was really cool.
That's, I know we're joking, but it is important. Like, members, Cody, can you grab tissues? Because she's crying. What do you mean, why? Because look what I'm doing over here with this interview. Why? Look at the emotion I bring out of people. Sorry about our producer. Anyway, I think it's important for something I've learned as an entrepreneur. Would you bring her one tissue?
There's two.
Get ready. There's going to be more. There's going to be, what do they call it? Not
No,
fireworks.
you're good, Cody. You're good. You're good.
Not fireworks. What do they call it? What? Waterworks. There's going to be waterworks, Cody. I haven't even started asking the tough ones.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Cody.
Be prepared next time, Cody, when I interview people,
We'll
please.
just leave it here. How about that?
Yeah. Get her some wine or something.
No,
What do you
I
drink?
don't drink.
Tequila.
No,
Oh,
I
you
don't
don't drink
drink,
at all. Forget it. Women always wipe their tears away. So funny.
Because we wear mascara.
Is that what it
You
is?
can't just like.
Wipe it all off?
Yes.
You're naturally bonita,
Oh,
Alie.
thank you. You're so sweet.
No, I think as an affiliate owner and a small business owner, I really I overdo it probably, like trying to tell, like when someone does well, even at a restaurant, I like not only tell them, but tell their manager, right? Like, hey, like that was really good service, or so-and-so is working hard. Because I do think as the consumer, you forget, like we're human,
Yeah.
right? And B, it's more likely, there's statistics out there where it's like, you're far more like, that's why I tell people, like, the people that are going to come, of course they're going to complain. It's just human nature. But when you get like, there's probably only a handful of positive emails.
Yeah, there's not a lot. And there's some members who occasionally will, just send a text like, man, I screenshot them and I keep them because I don't get a lot of them, But, the members who just randomly like, hey, like you're doing a great job, or we really appreciate what you're doing. And especially the ones who've been there for a long time who have just seen the change, a lot of people, I think, just take things for granted. And unfortunately, a lot of them, it's not their fault. They don't need to know, but they have no idea how much work it is to run an affiliate and to have it, look the way that it looks, and have your coaches, do what they do the way they do it, like how much effort and time goes into all of that, and I'm very particular about certain things, and, I'm a perfectionist. And so like the gym has to be a certain way, like the floor has to be clean a certain way,
But, and I mean, there's a fine line, perfectionist and obsessive, right? And I ride the line as well.
I am definitely both.
Yeah, but that's what it takes too.
Yeah.
Like if you said it earlier, the standard is the standard. And this is not to say many of your members don't feel that way. It's just human nature is like, well, I complain, and when things are great, I don't say anything.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a member listening, reach out to your affiliate owner, let them know they're doing a great job, because it hasn't. I mean, and you say like they don't see the work. I think even more so than the work, hearing the story. It's like this woman quit her job like during COVID when it was essentially guaranteed work.
Yeah.
Then takes the risk of buying the affiliate when it was losing money. Like, it's not just the work you're doing now. It's, everybody thinks, oh, these people are crushing it or making money, and they don't see those moments.
Yeah.
Where most, like 99% of people would be unwilling to take that risk.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a big risk.
That's a huge, I mean, I forget because we're surrounded with affiliate owners all the time that took that risk. But, you walk down the street, and walk past 100 people, 99 of them are going to their 9 to 5 and unwilling to, like, don't want to be.
Yeah.
But cool. Well, here's the moment. You have your premonition in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, and that's awesome. So you do the rate increase.
Yeah.
You had a few people reach out. Are those people, it really does carry you, right? Like, it's like, through that, the people that leave. Was it immediate? It wouldn't be immediate, but was it like within a few months you're like, oh, now we have revenue, like now I can pay myself? Didn't you want to say you had to, like, was it last year at the end of 23 you're like, my accountant's making me spend money? Was that right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He said you need to spend some money. I said, okay.
What'd you spend it on?
I bought 8 rowers, a GHD machine, some bumper plates, new climbing ropes. I think that's it.
Good problems, right? Because if you hadn't spent that money, you're going to get hit by taxes. Better to spend that money and invest in the gym than.
And also our gym needed the new equipment. Like, those rowers were old, and I didn't even know what a new rower felt like. It feels so smooth, right?
You didn't have. We had Model Bs back in the day. You didn't have Bs.
Yeah.
Bs were wooden.
Oh no.
I'm being serious. Like, we had the Model B. You couldn't store it upright.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. You pulled it. You got more meters.
Oh.
I would always go for that Model B.
We did have one of the old, like, light gray ones.
Yeah, that's probably a C.
Yeah. And so I sold some of the other ones, but bought all new rowers. And
that's true too. Like, you can sell them. People that want to use them, members will buy them. But I mean, they maintain a lot of their value, and then you can reinvest in the gym. So outside of that rate increase, what were some of the other major changes you made? I know there were some personnel changes.
Not a lot, actually. I had hired a coach, and then I had to let her go, but that was good.
What was that? What was your first experience as the boss babe, getting rid of an employee, that's tough because you are, we see emotional.
Yeah.
No, you're not, but it's tough.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
That wasn't very hard for me. It really wasn't because
That's the Mexicana in you.
Because my members are first. My members were the priority.
Oh, I love it.
And when I found out that there were some inappropriate things happening with my members, and then
Is this a female coach?
Yeah, but like her husband was a member too, and so when and that's where the inappropriateness was coming in, and they let me know, and it was more than one. And it was like they're like, oh, I don't think I want to come work out because I don't want to run into these. And I was like, absolutely not. I said, I'm gonna fix this immediately, and so yeah, it was immediate.
Not every box owner does that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, but she coaches 8 classes a week, and I'm like, cool, you're gonna lose members, and is the stress of you taking over those 8 classes and finding a new coach better or worse than the stress of losing members? So you took fast action on that.
Yeah, it was really fast. And so, and those members were so grateful, like I knew it was the right thing because I had also established core values, so a lot of the decisions that I make, even though sometimes they're hard decisions, they're
actually easy, right?
Yeah, because I have core values. Everything that I do is dictated by these core values.
What are the values?
They're excellence, integrity, caring, and community.
I love it. Excellence, integrity, caring, and community. And that's not always one of the first things, but it's certainly early on in your journey. Fern and I want to know your values and your mission statement and a few other, like your perfect day type things. But like we said, a tough decision becomes an easy one because you're like, well, this does not align with excellence.
Yeah.
Or caring.
Yeah.
Or community, right?
And if I didn't address it, it didn't align with integrity. Like I have to do the hard thing. The hard thing is I have to have this conversation or, make this decision,
Well, I'm such a huge proponent of values for the box and then personally, not just so you know how to live, but, I was just telling Nate this morning, health is my number one value. These guys were out partying well into the night, Nate. Right? Marcus, we're not sure if he's still alive, if we're being honest at this point. It's right.
I may have contributed to that.
Were you out with them?
No, but I don't drink, so I kept giving him my tickets.
Oh, yeah.
I give him my tickets. My coach.
You don't drink at all?
No.
You're like me?
Yeah.
Like,
So actually, I will drink occasionally. But occasionally is maybe one drink a month. But I decided.
Oh, you drink far more.
But I decided in 2024 to not drink at all.
So it's been like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Like at all forever or at all till you decide to?
At all in this year, but I don't know that I don't know.
That's
I always feel bad when I have a drink. I don't feel good.
That's what I'm trying to tell
what's
people.
What's the point? Because I don't even drink. I don't drink to feel anything. I like the taste of some beers, and I like a margarita once in a while, But it's
margarita,
like the
stereotype.
dinner, yeah.
And you put a sombrero on when you're drinking that margarita?
Yeah. I absolutely do not do that.
No, that's what I said. Like, Cody was like, well, you could have come out a little bit. I'm like, I don't not like being out. Like, that's a misconception about me. Like, I love affiliate. Like, if I'm going to be out, it's with affiliate owners. It's at a quiet bar. It's the next day.
Yeah.
And that's where, so point being, these guys are out partying. I was asleep. And I feel great today. And it's like, my number one value is health.
I was wondering where you were.
Yeah, but I'm like, I was in bed, like FaceTime with Roz and Madison, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go to sleep. I was in bed at 9, worked out this morning, and it's like, that to me is and I was telling Nate, what's cool is the team understands that about me.
Yeah.
Right? There used to be a lot of like, come on out, Jay, and like, let's put the pressure, and now I'm like, hey guys, I'm going back. Not a word, which makes it so much more enjoyable for me to travel because I'm like, I'm not stressed that you're going to be mad at me.
Yeah.
Because I do feel bad that I'm not going out, but I'm living by my values. And I think the point being, as an affiliate owner, it's important that you know your own values so you can live by them. But then also for your staff and your members to know, like, hey, if there's drama going on, Allie's going to, like, I'm not even concerned. Excellence, integrity, like, caring community, she's going to handle this.
Yeah.
And that's you're building members that are having so much trust in you.
Yeah. And there's, it's hard sometimes to make those decisions or have those conversations, but if I don't do it, then I'm not adhering to my own core values. And then why even have them, So, I mean, I've on several occasions even had to talk to members, just because their behaviors didn't align with our core values, I'm like, hey, our core values are this, and you're doing this, and you can.
And we have a cult here, and we want you to.
We want you to be like.
But
this.
I mean, it is cult. I mean, right? But it's not a cult, but it is a community.
Yeah.
And if you have 99 people that adhere to these and one that doesn't, they can infect the community.
Yes. Yeah, and they will. And they'll create cliques, and
they'll grab a couple of the other weak people.
We don't want that. We don't want cliques. We want people to come in and feel welcome at whatever class they come into, and not feel like, oh, I can't go over there because that group of girls. I don't like that at all. So yeah, if you don't fit in, most people end up removing themselves.
Yeah, we like CrossFit has a good asshole meter, right? You don't last too long if you're gonna rep shave or you're gonna be bringing drama to the box.
Yeah, and so most times they'll remove themselves, but sometimes I have had to address certain situations, and even though I still try to do it in a way, it's like, hey, we still like you, but we just need you to do things, but participate in class, participate in the warm up and do things like this, as kind as you want to say it or do it. People will sometimes still take it personal, and then they're like, I don't feel welcome, I'm leaving, and I'm like, okay.
That's a you thing,
right?
No, and that
yeah,
just shows the type of person they are, because back like we were saying about your coaching, I think you do that in a genuine, empathetic way. And that's what I was trying to say earlier about your coaching. You can be direct because I care.
Yeah.
That foundation is strong at your box. So now I have this freedom to talk to people and make sure that they are falling in line with our values here, because I've set this foundation of care and empathy. Yeah. Now that you're the devil wears noble, what are some of the things you're looking forward to at Lake Wylie?
Growing our nutrition program.
That's why we're here at Healthy Steps?
Yeah. It's the foundation of the pyramid, and I just really see people struggling with that piece and not willing to budge on
it's like religion.
Their nutrition habits and things like that, so really want our members to understand the importance of it,
What are some things you do at the box to help with that?
Because we've partnered with HSN, we do, we try to do posts on our social media. We share recipes, tips, things like that. And a lot of times, just as a coach, I genuinely will ask people, when they come in and they're just looking miserable, and I'm like, what is going on? You try to find out more about what's going on in their life, and then you find out they're not sleeping, or they're super busy, they're really stressed out. And so just trying to identify those opportunities and, trying to help people through those things, and getting them to understand nutrition is important. I think the biggest thing
nothing you do here matters.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's not entirely true, but like you said, it's the foundation.
Yeah. And I think the biggest issue is most people don't understand that you actually have to eat more. You have to eat more, and you have to eat the right things, and it's hard to shift the culture and the mindset of people who think that more means weight gain. More food means I'm going to get fat.
It's out there, right?
And I'm like, it's just crazy. And then we've had members who come in and they're like, I went to my doctor and I told my doctor I want to lose weight. My doctor told me I should eat 800 calories. And I'm like, what? For breakfast?
I know, right? In masa?
Get a new doctor.
Yeah, get a new doctor.
That's crazy, and whatever a doctor says, and okay, but how long? How long should you eat those calories? And then when you achieve your goal, then what do you do?
Also, what's your doctor do? What's your doctor look like? Is he smoking cigarettes out back? Because it's true. It's oh man, and that's why I joke, but the level 4 is you're gonna get it?
I am going to get
I
it.
know you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work on that's 2024.
No.
What do you mean? It's only April. It's April 19th. You got 8 months. You coach all the. Okay, 1 year from today.
Oh my god.
Is a year good? April?
Maybe.
No. Come on, Alie. No soft talk. What do you want? When are we gonna do it? Okay, you pick the day. Tuesday.
I'm on the spot. I don't know.
2025.
2025.
That's a year and 8 months. That's 20 months.
My L3 expires in 2025.
Let's go. All right?
All right.
We'll help. Hey, we talked earlier. Now you have a reason to do this. That wasn't my intention, but it worked. Before we leave, give us 1 to 2 pieces of advice for affiliate owners out there.
Oh gosh. Get some help. Honestly, get help from somebody who knows what they're doing. You know, I hate to say it, but you need help from people who know what they're doing to guide you, especially if you have never owned a business because there's so many pieces to an affiliate, and having somebody help you with like, okay, this is probably what you should focus on first. So get a mentor.
Love it. I mean, that was 3. I asked for 1 or 2, but that was
sorry.
great. Bonus from Alie. And like I said, I mean, we joke. Allie's been on our calls for 2 years now. And in 2023, this is a fake award, but I gave you the most improved.
Yeah.
And I mean it. Like, you don't hear me giving that. You're the only one that gets it.
I know. Yeah.
Because it's truly been, an honor to work with you. And like I said, I don't remember every first call, but I remember yours. I remember Big Poppy poking in, and I was like, and I do remember being like, this woman can do it. Like, it wasn't like, Fern, she's a hot mess, we shouldn't work with her. It was like, Fern, back in the day, we would talk after every one of those, like, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was. And I'm really proud of you. I'm excited to see all these things. I'm excited for you to get this level 4. We're proud of Big Poppy and Kimbrel.
Yeah. Kimbrel's stump grinding.
Kimbrel's stump grinding and Cross Lake Wylie, just 2 entrepreneurs living it up in the woods of North Carolina.
You should follow him on Instagram.
I'm going to go check him out.
Oh, he has his YouTube account.
Oh, for sure. What is he, grinding stumps on YouTube?
Yeah. Have you ever seen someone grind a stump?
I mean, that's like, if we use that as a dirty term, probably. Like a stump grinder? Like, yeah, don't look in my browser history. I'll check him out, though.
It's like those sound videos where, like, the ASMR stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
no idea. But I'll go check him out.
Get with it. But you can't stop watching. It's like, you're like, this is so cool.
I'm excited. But we are super proud of you. Keep up the great work out there, and I'm excited to see what's to come.
Thank you.
And thanks for crying.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.